Thanks for tuning into this week's edition of Going Gainesville. I'm Lesley, owner of Salman Home Realty and your host, and I'm joined today with my co-host,
Deron of Shining Soul Candle Company.
Tell me about Shining Soul Candle Company.
We
Deron.
make the best soy candles you can own. They burn clean. This guy's all excited about them. Wood wicks, and we have our shop right in Center Street in downtown Manassas, and a brand new shop down in Myrtle Beach.
Awesome.
Super cool.
And then this is my other co-host I'm joined with.
Hi, Victoria King for the Fauquier Bank. I'm a mortgage loan officer, originate purchases, refinances, whatever you're looking to do, new construction land, all that good stuff.
Well, thanks for joining me. And today we are going to be meeting with Bobby G's Petssss and Reptile Entertainment. So they're here at Vicky's house, and we're gonna show everybody all these cool critters, animals that they brought.
Get over our fear of snakes real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Let's go.
All right.
So Rachel and Matt, thank you guys so much for coming out here today. It's awesome to see you guys and all these cool little critters that you brought out for us. So can you tell us how you got into this field and the types of events that you guys are able to do?
Yeah, actually this started about 10 years ago. Bobby G Pets was originally Bobby G Pythons, and we used to breed pythons. And then we turned into a company that has different animals from around the world. And we take them out and we do birthday parties, special events, demonstrations. And 10 years ago it started. And the name came from my son's nickname, Bobby
Awesome.
G.
That's cool.
So, how do you decide which reptiles or animals that you're going to, I guess stock, I don't know what the word for it is, but you're going to take to the different parties? How many do you have?
Well, when it comes to personal pets, we have in the 30s. Maybe soon to be in the 40s. But what we do to decide what goes to the party is we do a tour around the world with our large, colorful map. And so we have to decide where the animals come from in certain parts of the globe. And we decide how to take them from there. But the main thing about the party is the kids get to play with them. So I always make sure I take very calm animals that are easy to hold. Not all of my animals are personal pet, or the personal pets that I have are handleable for everybody. But yeah, so we have animals that come from the United States, from Africa, Australia, Asia, all over the place.
So when you travel with the reptiles, do they get agitated or irritated or anything?
I don't believe so. Just because we do a lot of events, I've gotten to know these animals on a really personal level. And we try to make sure that they are confined well, they don't get sloshed around in the vehicle, and they don't show any signs of aggravation or being upset with us. And I don't believe they are. I think they're just really cool, chill animals, and that's why we use them.
Nice, and it looks like they're enjoying the hot sun that's beating down on us right now.
They really are. I got one back
love
here
it.
that's turning yellow because of the sun.
Probably
That's
more than we are.
Right? I'm just turning brown.
So is there a typical age range that you get for kids? There might be the lowest age range that you typically do a birthday party for or something like that.
We typically tell parents that the youngest age range to start for a birthday party is around 5 years old. But typically when people hire us, they do it for their children. But when we show up, the parents really get involved.
Yeah.
They start to realize that the animals are not dangerous. They see their kids having a really good time. And then they start wanting to hold them and play with them themselves. So we tell people our age range is from 5 to 95. We have lots and lots of grandparents out there that are always going to remember us because we put on a show and they love it too, not just the kids.
So do you offer any type of educational sessions for children? Do you have any type of packages available?
We do. We have a couple different packages. Our main one, which is our birthday parties and special events in schools, where we take the animals over and the kids do they sit down, they get to learn about the animals, we do our tour around the world and they get to hold them. We also have a one-on-one package where if your child thinks they want to have a reptile, say a snake, lizard, or a turtle, and they're not sure what they want, or you're not sure what you want them to have, then you can call us up and we bring 5 animals to your place. And you get to choose the animals, what kind of snakes, lizards, or turtle, scorpion, or tarantula, and you get to meet the animals for an hour and 15 minutes. We talk about them, you get to pet them and hold them in a one-on-one atmosphere, and then when we're done, you get to decide if you even want a reptile, if it's out of their system, or if they fall in love with a certain species. One of the reasons that we do this is because we want to make sure that the animal doesn't get bought. Kind of like when a kid gets a video game, they play the video game, they get tired of it, and all of a sudden they don't play the game anymore. We don't want that to happen to the animals. And so we do this to get it out of their system. And sometimes the kids are just done and they go play something else. And there's the ones that stick around and they want to keep asking questions and keep playing, and those are the future owners.
I love that.
Great.
Yeah, that's super helpful
Yeah.
because then it's like, I mean, there's people that don't realize the work that goes into a puppy, let alone something that is not as familiar of a pet. So I love that. And I also love in today's day and age with the virtual education, virtual like online type schooling stuff. That'd be a cool thing to have you guys come in and, you know, almost like a mini field trip brought to you.
Oh, that would be perfect.
You know?
I could have used that before my daughter bought guinea pigs.
So I have arachnophobia. I am scared to death of spiders, and I want to get over that fear. So I'll have to come to you guys and just try and hold the tarantula without like passing out.
Were either of you ever afraid of any of the animals that you handle, and how did you get over that?
So I can answer this one, because when I met Matt about 14, 15 years ago, deathly afraid of snakes. I met him and he had one at the time. And so just from him, you know, teaching and, you know, helping me just get over my fear and just handling and knowing that they aren't slimy, you know, things like that. That was making me a little bit afraid. So, and now, 14 years later, we have 30-some reptiles, and I'm definitely the lizard lady. I definitely like the lizards over the snakes.
She's got 5 of her own lizards.
Oh,
I do, yeah.
I want to know how it worked before you got over the fear. How did that the relationship work? Did you stick around?
Well,
like
pretty
put it
much he
away.
kept bringing them into the house, and it was just getting used to them and knowing that they were pets, that they were handleable, that they weren't, you know, just, you know, wildlife getting, you know, picked off in something that, you know, might be trying to defend itself.
Right. All right, well, it's time to see how much fun the boys have with this. Let's go get them. So what do we have here? I know all the boys are just waiting to see them.
Yeah. This ball python that's crawling out right now, that's our guy Iceman, and he is a piebald ball python. Piebald is a mutation, think of albino. Albino is a mutation in the genetics, piebald is as well. And he is considered a high white piebald. His belly's pure white and his back is covered in it. And we actually specialize in producing piebalds. That's our bread and butter.
Is there a certain way you should hold them, or does it?
The best way, while you're holding her, while holding him, I'll pick her up. Ball pythons get their name because they like to hide their head in the middle of their body like a ball. So if you want to just play with the ball pythons, you can put your hand in their tail and they hang.
So we have 2 types of bearded dragons. He's just a normal that you kind of see all the time where his back is very spiky.
This is a representation of a wild Australian bearded dragon.
Could you do me a favor
This is
and
what
put
they
him
would
down?
look like, the orange one.
Did you want to hold
What
that
they would
one?
do in Australia is they would sit
Yep, put your
close
hand
to, say, cactuses or bushes, and that's why they look the way they do. They try to mimic their surroundings, so they have spines on their sides, and the back is very rough,
spiky,
like
they
sand.
feel.
And so they're
They're
mimicking
soft.
their surroundings. And these are part of the iguana family, so they look really big and tough, but they just eat bugs and leaves. Well, this one here, this is a new one to our crew, this Uramastix. So it's very jumpy, so we probably won't
so
be
we
holding
won't.
Yeah.
this one. But
Okay.
we call this one mellow yellow. You can see it's bright yellow right now. If it goes into a real cool area, it turns dark green.
All right, on to the big snake.
All right, so this is Spade. She gets her name from the patterns on her body. She looks like a spade from cards. She comes from Madagascar, and she's called a Dumeral's boa. She has her patterning because she is she's camouflaged. She likes to hide under leaves and sticks, and she waits for animals to come to her, and then when they do, she strikes. She's a constrictor, and she's wrapping into everything. She's a constrictor. When you guys hold her, you're gonna feel her muscles. She's covered in really strong muscles.
Do you want to? Do you want to try to walk it over by the
That's pretty
to the
cool.
boys?
Oh yeah.
Ryan.
No?
Look, he's like, no.
Ryan's out.
This one's the cool
Well,
one, guys.
we can get a volunteer. I can show you guys how to hold it
Why
by
don't you
yourself.
guys just come pet it?
Yeah, come up.
You want to come up and do it?
Just touch it.
All right, so come on over here. What we're gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you stand up and I'm gonna have you put your arms straight out to the side. And we're gonna put her around your shoulder. So take both arms
Like
and put them to
this.
the side. And we're gonna put her around your neck.
No, not around my neck.
Keep your arms out, put your arms out. Here, out like this, just like that, perfect. Now take this hand, put it on her body. Just like that, that's perfect. This is, we call him T-Rex. This is an example of a lizard we've taken in as a rescue. He is a black and white Argentine tegu, so they are South American. And you can see on his back, he has this black and these white spots. He came from an area that had other tegus, and tegus are, absolutely. Tegus are known to be territorial, and they're known to pick on each other, kind of bully. And so what he,
He doesn't like to be held.
sometimes, what happens with the lizards is they,
Oh, okay. buddy.
yeah, here, we'll put him right here. Let him spaz out a little
Yeah,
bit,
he
then he'll
just
calm down. So what happened to him was he got bit by other tegus. And so when we took him in, we took care of him, food, water, heat, affection, and then his body started to regenerate itself. And so what we're seeing here is new scales that are coming in under the skin. The old scales came right off the body. It wasn't a typical shed. His old scales just came off his body because they couldn't regenerate, and now he's growing new ones.
Awesome.
So he has this black and white splotchiness that maybe will never go away. But he is a nice, healthy, young black and white tegu. When he's full grown, his head will be up here and his tail will be hanging off the tank.
Well, Rachel and Matt, thank you so much for coming out. I think we all had an amazing time looking at the animals that you guys brought.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Deron, thanks for being my co-host.
Yeah, of course, anytime. That was fun. This was a fun one.
And Vicky, and thank you for being my co-host in this one.
Had an awesome time.
And the boys, you guys, I know you guys had a great time. And thank you for tuning into this week's edition of Going Gainesville, because we're going Gainesville.
And
So
So are you.